Ladies and gentlemen, according to CNN and other publications or other news stations, they're all giddy and happy and gleefully reporting that President Trump's CFO, Alan Weisselberg, or perhaps others in the Trump organization will be indicted. Now, why are they going to be indicted? It's not because they found criminal wrongdoing within his tax returns. This wasn't the holy grail of corruption like they said it would be. They didn't find any links to Russia. They didn't find anything that could tie Trump to the Steele dossier or to the Director of National Intelligence report that was based on high to moderate confidence, or the dossier that was purchased by his direct political rival in Clinton. They found no links to Trump-Russia to Putin because the Mueller probe stated the evidence was insufficient, which means there was no evidence at all to indict Trump on that. Then they say they can use the Comey memos to get Trump on obstruction, but that's absurd because there's no way to back the Comey memos in court because he very likely made up most of it. Comey. So the initial push for Trump's tax returns by MSNBC pundits and others was to see if there was any compromise, that he was compromised, either with, salacious stories linked to Russian operatives, or did he owe Putin money? So it's interesting the way Democrats and media, morally superior liberal Democrats, wonderful people, who say, well, there's no evidence of any wrongdoing when Uranium One gives millions into Madam Secretary's foundation. I mean, that's just fine. It's a philanthropic organization. Gosh, it's charity. Well, yeah, that's because they can't stuff the money in Bill's pocket. So maybe you could put two and two together, and Uranium One was eventually owned by Putin, or controlled by the Kremlin, or purchased by Russia. And, oh, by the way, Putin eventually got control of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity at one point. That's according to the New York Times. And yellow cake was shipped out of the country, according to the New York Times. And Mueller was the director of the Bureau at that time. And only President Obama, because Snopes made a big deal about this, only President Obama could have vetoed the sale. But they're not compromised, even though President Obama stated to Dmitry Medvedev in a hot mic, episode, he said, well, you know what, once I win, I'll be able to have more leeway. And he told Romney the 80s want their foreign policy back. And Democrats came into the White House with a Russian reset. Okay. Remember that big goofy button that they pressed in 2008? Or 2009, sorry. So, but that's not, and then there was a deal with Boeing and all this stuff. So, but they're not compromised. It was always Trump who was compromised. So we needed to know his tax returns. Hit subscribe, by the way, to this channel. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers. We're at 182. We're almost at 182,000. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy my voice, my writing, and I'm going to be hopefully getting published very soon, and I'm going to start that back up again, my political writing. If you enjoy my voice, you enjoy this channel, you enjoy H.A. Goodman's other channel, please go ahead. Word of mouth is the absolute best thing you could do for me. To my new Patreons, thank you so very much. I mean, that helps me immeasurably and allows me to do what I do. So thank you. But if you don't want to, just help with Patreon or whatever, the best thing you could do is word of mouth. If you have friends, family who would enjoy my voice, please tell them about this channel. But ladies and gentlemen, they didn't have anything with Trump-Russia. The only reason they wanted his tax returns, and he's a billionaire, so it would be the equivalent of, let's say, Bezos or, Bill Gates was running for president, and he was running as a Democrat, and Republicans said, well, we want to see your tax returns. the rebuttal would be, well, they're so complex. He's worth billions and billions of dollars. Why do you want to look? You're just doing it for political gain. You wouldn't even understand the accounting anyway. You know what? The IRS would have told people. Every rebuttal would be given by Democrats. But they created this nonsensical, irrational tinfoil hat fantasy that I would love to debate Mr. Sam Cedar on. I've issued an open debate to him. Of course, he hasn't responded, so I wonder why. And they created this fantasy called Trump Russia. They wanted his tax returns. They got his tax returns. They are now going after tuition in the articles below that he might have helped pay or paid for his CFO's grandchildren. Why did I spend 5 minutes on Trump Russia and Democrats wanting his tax returns and all that? They went from Russian compromat to school tuition. That's why you should watch this channel. That's why you should tell people to watch this channel, because most mainstream or, MSNBC, CNN, even the Washington, well, especially the Washington Post, but the Wall Street Journal, they're not going to make that, they're not going to give you that analysis. Because what happens is there's this barrage of news every day that oftentimes is spun against Trump almost always. And you lose sight of the aggregate total bird's eye view. They started with Russian compromat because he owed money to Russia or the Kremlin, or that Putin had something on him because, he's so indebted in terms of money, and only his returns would be able to show that. So we need to see it. And Democrats and Jerry Nadler and Schumer and Pelosi and AOC, they need to, all the brilliant minds of our generation, they need to look at his tax returns. Because that way they'll find out what Putin has over him. Okay, this is all nonsense. They obviously fabricated everything. Because they have had his tax returns since February 25th. March, April, May, June. Okay? 4 months. It was supposed to be the holy grail of corruption. It was supposed to be this endless treasure trove of criminality where Trump, because of him hiding his fortune in here and there and all, it's all leading to corrupt people and leaders throughout the world, especially Putin. That was supposed to be a slam dunk. That was supposed to be an easy layup. That was supposed to be the easiest thing for New York prosecutors to do, is just find out all the information against Trump. All the information against Trump and inform the world that he broke laws here and there and RICO logs and racketeering, and he was a criminal mastermind. He was the Orange Al Capone of our generation. Instead, they went from that to, what can we possibly get this man on? We have, oh my God, the dossier didn't work. We impeached him, but we couldn't find anything. We couldn't even get him on obstruction because, honestly, we fabricated everything. And, he didn't clear Lafayette Square, and he didn't do this, and we couldn't get him on January because, he's protected by the First Amendment, and he actually didn't tell people to commit any crimes. So, oh God, what do? We couldn't get that commission we wanted. God, what do we do? Oh my God. Okay, Southern District of New York, Tammany Hall. They're completely objective. They would never do anything that would suit the Democratic Party. Oh, we couldn't find anything with his returns. We couldn't find anything. Maybe because he's been in the spotlight for 40 years. And if there was something nefarious, everyone would have known by now. If he was the orange Bernie Madoff, they would have found out. So then we go after and try to ruin the life, because they tried to ruin the lives of people like George Papadopoulos and Carter Page and Michael Flynn and a whole bunch of other people. It didn't work. It didn't work. So now they're going after Alan Weisselberg. You're talking about the most despicable, vengeful, malicious political party going after Trump. And they're now going after him for the high crime and misdemeanor and the heinous atrocity of paying for his CFO's grandchildren's tuition. The link is below in the description section. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now.